So hello and welcome to the BMW Alpina B8. This is a very special car. They didn't make too many of these. They're not going to make too many of these because they're special, and really excited to be driving this thing, and so it's a big treat today. So let's go for a drive and see what it's like. You've already seen the outside, but let's see what it's like to drive, and let's see what this car is really out on the road every day. So this is the Gran Coupe. It starts out very similar to a regular BMW M8 competition. It's basically that car, what that's based on, but there are some big differences. And starting out with what's under the hood, it's the same engine basically. However, it's tuned differently by Alpina. So they have their own tune on it, they have their own exhaust on it, so it sounds a little bit different, and it makes 612 horsepower, which is a little bit less than, I believe, like 8 less than the M8 competition, but it makes a bunch more torque, like 37 pounds more torque than the M8. Roll up the window. Than the M8. So it actually is much better behaved, we should say, than the M8. And it's much better as a street car because it just has that much more power in everyday use. It is an awesome car that's well, pretty quick. Ultimately, though, it's not as quick as the M8. The M8's a little bit lighter, and it doesn't. It runs a little bit quicker. I believe the M8 runs a quarter mile in 10.9, and this runs a quarter mile in 11.5. This has a top speed of 201 miles an hour, and oh, big pothole here. It has a top speed of 201 mile an hour. And it does the 0-60 in just a hair, or just around 3 seconds. So it's not slow by any means. It really scoots. All you have to do is just put it in sport mode, and it's so responsive. The transmission responds as the ZF 8-speed transmission. Under the hood, of course, you have the 4.4 V8 and twin turbo. So it scoots really good. It's definitely not slow by any means. It's quite quick, and it's and you just have to hang on for dear life when you floor this thing, because it's a very fast car. On the outside, what they've done to this car is they made it just more beautiful. It is just a stunning, beautiful car. On the inside, that's really the only thing I can fault with this car, is really on the inside. The only thing that says Alpina is a couple of badges and things like that. It's pretty much standard BMW in here, which looks like any other BMW. So it doesn't feel that special inside, that this is a very rare collectible car. But it's an awesome car. and I guess their thought was, hey, it's good to go, so why change it? But I would have liked to see a little bit more specialness inside. Outside is very special. When you look at this thing, it looks like a totally different car, and everybody just looks at it and says, wow, what is that? It looks beautiful. So the other thing about this car compared to, say, the M8 is it's a little bit more grown up. They put iBox springs in here. The mounts, the suspension mounts have been reinforced. The sway bars, it has active sway bars. Of course, it has all-wheel drive. It has limited slip differential. It has rear wheel steering, all to help it corner well, and it does really well. For a 5,000-pound car, it handles like a sports car. And it's not just ultimate grip, but it's also when you're doing transient maneuvers, it is, it's hard to believe this is a 5,000-pound car that can switch lanes and go from left to right so quickly. But compared to the M8, it rides beautifully well. These roads that we're driving on right now are horrible roads, but you know what? It soaks up biggest potholes and things, despite the fact that it has two 45 21-inch front tires and two 85 21-inch rear tires. It soaks them up beautifully. By the way, speaking of those tires, the tires on this is custom made by Pirelli for this car. Pirelli claims they have active noise canceling. So basically what Pirelli has done is not only given it a ton of grip, but also tried to make the car quiet. And you know what? This thing is just that. It's smooth, quiet, yet it's a sports car. It's a hot rod. It's incredible because you can be cruising down the Autobahn at 200 miles an hour and be comfortable and smooth. There's no wind noise. It's quiet. The stereo's fantastic, and you can just go about your business. It's an absolutely stunning car. It's such a fantastic cruiser and beautiful to drive. A lot of things that Alpina has done to make this special, you don't really notice it, but they're there, and they've made small differences here and there to make everything just a little bit better, make the handling a little bit better, make the ride a little bit better, make the brakes a little bit better. 15.6-inch rotors in the front, 15.7-inch rotors in the back with blue Brembo calipers, which are beautiful looking, by the way, and especially through those gorgeous 21-inch Alpina wheels. They're amazing to look at. So anyway, the only other flaw with this car, of course, nothing comes cheap, and it's the price. These things are not cheap cars. The M8 is expensive, the 8 is expensive, and the Alpina is even more expensive. Prices start at about $144,000, and this one is about right around 152 or so. So definitely not a cheap car, but to get all of the performance and all of the specialness, you can actually argue that it's quite a bargain, because it's definitely not a car you see every day driving around. You know, you can drive this thing for 5 years and you'll never see another one of these on the road. So very special car, and I'm extremely excited to be driving it. Thanks for joining us. If you like this video, please make sure to like it below and subscribe also. It really helps us out. And until next time.